Welcome to the Gray Situations podcast, where a group of unqualified people discuss ethics and global issues. Today we'll be talking about the California wildfires and a few hypothetical situations.
I am Laro.
I'm Ace.
I'm Holland.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Felix.
And hello, I am Cameron.
Okay,
First order of business.
I will be starting with my
Laro, go.
social
Go,
dilemma.
Laro. Ooh.
So, fake news and exaggerated journalism is a big problem. We all want honest, factual, and unbiased journalism, but what about the journalists that need to make an adequate living? What if simply making honest and objective articles simply doesn't net them enough clicks and therefore not enough money to live? How do we figure that out?
Oh no, Laura. What's your solution?
What do you think
Well,
about
we're
this?
supposed to discuss, what do you guys
Yeah, we
think?
are. I'm asking your opinion first.
Yeah, I'm just asking your opinion.
So
I don't know. I just brought up the question.
you're
I
saying
didn't
that
think about it.
there's too much exaggerated and fake news going around, and so that makes real news less
Yeah, it makes-
profitable.
Real news has
makes,
been obsolete for a long
The
time.
truth much more difficult to find.
I
And so
feel
the
like
ethical dilemma here is the journalists who are putting up those clickbait articles because they need to live.
So
True.
our question is, how do you stop that?
We can get.
While
we can.
also providing them an adequate amount of money.
Social security, that's how you do it.
Maybe they can get paid more, but then why don't they get paid more already?
Because
capitalism. Yeah.
Because
Maybe.
money.
Maybe they just can't. Maybe the companies just can't afford to pay more.
No, the companies can always afford.
What?
It's
Yeah,
just the
that's
rich
true.
guy wants to buy 3 yachts this year instead of 2.
So
but
how
I
would
feel
you
like
enforce
wait.
this?
I feel like journalists themselves, they should know that spreading fake news is like basically against their job, like what their
Well,
job is meant to be
Technically,
doing.
they don't have to spread fake news. They can take things out of context, and that's still
That's still pretty bad.
it's still
That's like
it's still not technically lies, but it's
Well,
still
y-
very misleading.
yeah. As a journalist, you shouldn't be misleading. You should be telling the straight facts as how it is, right?
Right.
It shouldn't you
Okay.
shouldn't be biased.
So how would you stop fake news and exaggerated journalism?
It's probably a much deeper problem, because all news and stuff is from only a couple companies, right?
The big problem with this is that
they all
before
have
the
their own
24-hour news cycle
narrative.
kicked in, there was only 1 hour of news a night, and so it was really well researched and it was like directly to you. But now that the 24-hour news cycle kicked in with the advent of television, and so news networks had to figure out how to fill those 24 hours, and now it's just constant news because the internet is constant. So I feel like how journalism is put out needs to shift with kind of how our lives have changed since the advent of broadcast news. And that's why clickbait articles happen.
And also
Should
just
it be allowed still to click like articles?
What kind of law are you going to use to enforce this? The death penalty?
Well, not the death penalty, but just something.
If you say
Like what?
top 10 people you wouldn't believe, guess what? You're never going to see your family again.
But is that news?
that's just articles. That's just like entertainment. Not really.
I saw
a
it-
YouTube video.
Yeah, I saw a clickbait article this morning where it was like only 48 years until an asteroid is said to hit Earth, but the actual odds was like 2 in
It's like-
4 million.
Yeah, they always do that kind of stuff.
In order,
I feel like clickbait is fine as long as the information is in there somewhere.
And then it's not clickbait.
Well, then they can present the information, but they can
They
do it in a
they
way
present it in a
that's
misleading
different.
way, which makes you want to click on the article.
Holly, did you have something to say?
In order to stop clickbait and all of that, you're gonna have to go all the way back to the source of where they've like learnt their techniques to get people to read it. So you'd have to end up changing the whole curriculum that they taught in university when they get their journalism degree.
What
So
about-
what they teach in journalism is clickbait?
Partially,
Or
they
try-
teach them how to word things to bring people
Yeah.
in.
Okay, so that comes the problem of like, if you word it differently, is it considered clickbait? Or is it two separate things where one is just trying to pull the viewer's attention and the other one just straight up lying?
I think there can be like a good like hook that isn't
Yeah.
too misleading. That would be okay. But if it's like a straight up like lie just to get you to click on it, then
Like the asteroid article where it was like, it's gonna hit Earth, but then the actual odds are different.
The internet
Yeah.
is extremely hard to enforce rules on.
Yeah.
You can't, there's no like internet police.
No cybersecurity. So
it's an epic
although
hacker.
you could, if you had enough resources, you probably could stop at least the big companies from
Well,
writing
but
articles
the,
that
the
way.
thing is that the clickbait articles on like reputable news sources like Reuters and the Associated Press are like those are two examples of news sites that disprove the clickbait, right? Because they're just doing their honest reporting.
Right. Not all websites
So it
do
is possible.
It's just a lot more profitable to do it.
I don't
The
know if there
solution is
is.
to find a way to make it just as profitable to not clickbait as people that do clickbait.
If
but
you
it's
pay
really
them
hard.
if their headline is cool. Like if their headline
You pay
headline
them
competition.
for how accurate the headline is.
maybe. You give them a 70%
Interesting.
rate.
But the problem is if just simply like unbiased, unpolitical, just factual news simply just doesn't get as many views. That's why
Yeah.
they keep
Yeah.
using all this like political biased stuff. That's why
Also,
like
there's that
CNN and Fox are so big.
confirmation bias kind of stuff too. Like
Yeah, they just want to hear what they want to hear.
Yeah,
That's
they
why
want to hear what they want to hear.
if you agree with everything on CNN, you're never gonna watch anything else. Or if you only like what Fox says, then you'll never watch anything else. And they just want you to stay on their
Yeah.
channel.
And the worst thing is like stuff that we use like Google and YouTube, they just furthermore help with that confirmation bias.
Yeah,
Their goal-
because
They
their
recommend
goal
you
is to
more
make money.
stuff.
Yeah,
And
their
if they
goal isn't-
recommend you stuff you want to watch, they'll earn as much money as possible.
Yeah. Their goal isn't to inform anymore. It's just to put like the viewers in an echo chamber so that they just keep consuming their news for advertisements.
And it further
it.
makes like the both sides more extreme.
Yeah.
So how do we stop that?
I have
don't
a
know.
plan that always works. Government subsidies.
Government subsidies to like companies like Google?
To everyone.
Mm.
If
To everyone.
we can develop
Government-
develop like a chart or graph thing, or guidelines. So if their articles match this guidelines, then they will be eligible for a subsidy. So that can help pay the people who don't get enough clicks on their article.
Okay, well, but would this pay be only for these like big companies or also these just starter companies or like
What if it's like an
self-made
independent
news
journalist?
reporters? Yeah.
Well, it takes a while. Also, it has to be an international effort, so it'll take even longer.
Oh boy, an
Because-
international effort. Where have we heard that before?
There's no way that just one company in like Belgium can govern everything.
Okay, but where's this?
Belgium will govern all news in the world. Okay.
Okay, I suggest something like Interpol, but for the no, like the UN, but for the world. Exhibits for news and online stuff.
Isn't the UN already for the world?
Yeah, I
No,
don't know.
but
What
this
are
is
you saying?
specifically targeted at journalism.
So the UJ.
United Journalists, yes,
So what would they do?
they would
Everything in check.
task force.
So
I mean,
basically,
who's gonna fund that? Like,
Well, that's the issue.
it's definitely
or
not
it
gonna
could
be
be
the
a
big
branch.
companies. They're
It
not
could be
gonna
a-
fund something that makes them
be
less money.
a
I
branch
say
of
we
the UN.
tax the rich.
The
Doesn't
rich
that
people will pay for
already?
it.
Doesn't that already happen? Like,
Oh yeah,
based on how much money you get more tax.
um,
In all countries.
that's
Yes, but no.
that's yeah, yes, but no. That's really the answer to it. Like as of right now, Trump and Bernie, right? Bernie says that he wants to tax the rich, right? Depending on how rich you
Okay,
are. So if you
well, that-
meet a minimum requirement
Well,
of
now
rich,
it's
you get
deviating.
taxed.
This is deviating from the original topic.
But we're talking
Yes.
about the solutions.
I think we should move on to the next one.
Okay, my
We
next
Okay.
have like 6 more.
my next one is about deepfakes because recently they've been pretty popular in memes and stuff, and it's for now it's just being used for fun, but eventually it's gonna get like really realistic. We won't be able to tell anymore.
Aren't
So
there
how will we
already?
balance? How will we balance like deepfakes that are made for fun and deepfakes that, how are we gonna prevent like actual deepfakes for malicious intent?
Aren't there already deepfakes that are like super realistic? Like people can't tell the difference between a deepfake and a normal video.
Yeah, but they're really limited. Like
And so far they're being used for memes.
really,
But
It
there's
could
like a
be-
lot now.
yeah, there was
Yeah.
one of JFK saying something, but like it had to be like in a good environment. It was like minimal um, facial movement.
I think they are going to use AI to try and make like a deepfake detecting AI. But then the problem is that they can also use that AI to improve the deepfake AI, and they just like keep getting better and better and better.
Who's they?
Well, whoever's gonna use it, that's they. Whoever
The
uses
Illuminati.
deepfakes.
So
So we need to find a way to distinguish
an
between
AI
fake and what's
that
real.
can detect deepfakes.
That's
That's what
what I
Felix
just said,
just
dude.
said.
That's literally what I just said.
Oh, I thought you meant like an AI that improves deepfakes and
No,
an
see,
AI
I'm
that
saying
improves
that
the AI that
I-
improves deepfakes.
I'm saying that the AI that can detect deepfakes will also help improve deepfakes because they can use the
So-
face deepfakes detecting AI
So then the
to
technology for detecting deepfakes has to be kept secret.
but who keeps it?
who
Yeah,
will
who
keep
keeps
it
it?
secret?
It could be like big tech companies or
Oh
the
yeah,
government.
We can
Yeah,
create
big-
an
big tech
international
companies.
You're going
effort.
to trust
gonna
big
trust-
tech companies on keeping this secret.
Well, what other companies have the resources to
No
Like,
companies.
we
It
should give it
can't
to
be
Amazon.
companies. It can't be private companies.
No, but that's the thing. Like, how are you gonna stop those companies from developing this technology? You can't really prevent them.
Well,
If
like
they
what
really
if
want to, they
YouTube
can do it.
what if YouTube in the future they implement like an anti-deepfake like algorithm?
What if there was like a
They can do that.
specific filming method that wouldn't work for deepfakes?
I think that's
How?
beyond our
What,
expertise.
how would that work? What?
You make a 360-degree camera video. And
What
then
if the
because
deepfake gets so advanced that it can
Well,
do that?
Well,
it's
by
not
the
actually 360. It's still technically like just you
But
can
it's
still
harder-
make it flat.
okay, never mind.
Dude. No, they can still deepfake that. They would just need pictures of the back of the person's head.
Yeah, but you can't get pictures of the back of the person's head because that's not what's released.
Well, you could just like find other pictures online of that person. And oh, that's the back of their head. Okay.
Have you seen those photos of AI generated faces? Like
Yeah.
they're just completely unique faces, but it looks so realistic. What if the AI learns how to create like fake uh backs of people's heads?
That actually reminds me of
Probably.
this.
Even though it
Let's
might
see.
not be like accurate, it'll be realistic.
Yeah, and people won't really recognize it because no one's gonna look at a celebrity's, back of their head all the time.
Well, you don't know what people are into.
Okay, I think we're
Okay.
getting off topic here.
So you ask, how will deepfakes be used for good? What do you mean by that?
Well, for good, it could just be like for joking, for fun.
Like
But that's still
mumbling at
taking
Pizza
somebody
Hut?
else's image and like
As
superimposing
long
it.
as,
Yeah,
or
true.
there probably have to be laws, like you need consent from this person
Yeah.
to make a deep fake. So it would probably be pretty difficult to,
Yeah,
Uh,
and
that's
it
hard
would
to
be
implement.
like very regulated, like the
How-
software. You would need like a license for the software, stuff like
I
that.
don't think it's that different than having a video of somebody else. You don't like if the video is public
Well,
domain.
it's a video of them doing something they actually did. They themselves did that. So
Yeah, the
It's-
Okay,
problem
but
with
how
deepfakes-
how
deepfakes.
does how does
the-
deepfakes benefit like just the world? Are there any benefits to it?
I guess the
like,
film industry could use it if they
movies.
can't
That's true.
afford an actor, but they like get the actor's consent to use their face. They can just use someone else that has like a similar body to the actor, and they could put a deepfake on him.
I'm pretty so like similar to what Fast and Furious did, right?
Yes.
Like you can use it to recreate people who have already died.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
since they
now
died,
that
how do they
is
give
like a
consent?
completely
Well,
different
no.
ethical
Well,
issue.
technically, the film, if they're making a movie with someone who's died, they technically own that character and the likeness for that character.
What
She
I
tried
was
that
saying
with
is
James
like
Dean.
what I was
Oh,
saying is
jeez.
like if an actor, right, is too busy to work on this film, but they agree for the film company to use their face, then they could put a deepfake on some other actor that has a similar body type. So, it looks like the famous actor is actually in the film, but he's not.
I see how that benefits, but like
Yeah.
I'm just saying, what if the actor dies?
Oh, they could put it on stunt doubles.
Well, it's already been done with like JFK.
I guess it all comes down to like consent, I
Maybe
guess.
the actor before the actor dies, he has to like maybe he
Yeah.
can say, "Yo, I'm cool with deepfakes," or he's like, "Hey, don't be doing deepfakes. Hey, okay." Yeah.
So our solutions
Yeah.
include don't do deepfakes, consent, and AI.
Basically
Yes.
it.
Okay.
Does anyone have anything to say, or should we move on?
It's your turn, Ace. Go,
Okay, so
Ace.
this is kind of a would you rather, but imagine your best friend commits a crime and you get blamed for it. Would you turn them in?
Well,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's like, man, I'm not taking your crime. What the heck, bro?
What if
Wait,
it's
what?
okay? How about
Okay, what type of crime? What type of crime?
what if, let's say, if your friend takes the blame, they go to prison for 20 years. If you get the blame, you go to prison for 3.
I'd take
That's some kind of weird
I'd still turn them in.
system.
Yeah, I still thll them in.
Yeah.
So
Because-
you turn
Dude,
in.
no,
Because
because
you're telling the
even,
truth.
Yeah. And
I
even
have
if you
one
only
question.
wait, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue, Felix. My bad.
Even if you only go to prison for 3 years, your life will still get changed because then like places won't hire you because you did this crime or whatever, and your relationship is ruined and everything.
Yeah, that's why I would turn him in.
But they're like
How
your best friend.
severe is the crime?
Well, they're not anymore.
They're not anymore after that crime.
But the opposite. If your best friend got blamed for something you did. I mean, I would be
Yeah, I'll
perfectly
turn-
fine if they turned themselves in. I'll be like,
I would be fine, but
Okay.
no, but I would also understand why he would turn me in or she would
Yeah.
turn me in.
maybe I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I would
So
like
how about let's
admit to
say
it or not, but I would be perfectly understanding if my best friend was like, yeah, it was him. Like,
let's say you had you weren't sure if your friend would turn you in or not, or like it seemed like they could take the blame for you. Would you go out of your way to change that?
yeah, that maybe it depends on the person.
Well, it's like your very best
Yep.
friend for
I
everything.
think it also
Okay,
depends on the
then
crime.
probably
It does depend on the crime.
So
Everything
for-
is relative, God.
okay, so for like a
Mr.
white
Cathis, just
for a
like
white collar crime, what would you
a what crime?
white collar, like something like fraud or embezzlement?
Laundering money
Yeah,
or something. Is
Genocide.
that white collar?
I think it's not genocide.
War
It's a
crime.
war.
because I think that life in prison would be better. I mean, it would be a better punishment than the death penalty.
But life,
Why?
the prison life costs a lot of money and resource.
But the
You're
death penalty, you're
essentially-
killing someone.
Which one-time cost. The lifetime in prison, you have to pay for 3 meals every day, plus shelter, plus like all the food and like toilet stuff.
So
I
you
mean,
want
are there-
the government to get a good deal?
Are there that many inmates that are getting the death penalty?
It's not very common.
Yeah,
And-
okay.
It's only legal in some countries.
Yeah, not all countries have it legal, and
I
even in
don't
the
feel
US,
like
not
it's
all
right.
states have it legal.
Sorry, we're still talking about the death penalty, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Sweet. Okay. Just making sure.
I do feel like there shouldn't be a death penalty. Like the country should be able to support the inmate.
So what if the country isn't in the best economic state, and they don't have the funds?
Maybe
They
I
should
don't know.
ship the
Ship the
prisoner.
inmate somewhere else.
What
Yeah.
country would take an inmate?
Guantanamo Bay.
Whatever country has a
You
prison.
can't support
yeah,
someone
we're looking for
if they're, a
inmates.
if they're a citizen of your own country.
What'd you say, Holly?
Ah, you know who would take prisoners? You know who would take prisoners? Australia.
Why?
That's
That's how
that Australia was a
became
big
Australia.
prison. Yeah.
Australians, am I right?
But they
That's why
don't
they're so
take
weird.
prisoners. That's the point. Because New Zealand tries to. So when Australians get out of prison in New Zealand and they get sent back to Australia, Australia doesn't want them anymore. They won't take them.
Why is that?
Who wants a prisoner?
They don't
Like,
want crimes.
how is that good for their country?
Why don't they want inmates?
But they're putting the
Something-
prisoner in like prison for
But
life, right?
That costs money, though.
It costs money and they don't want the responsibility that comes along with it.
Like, you could either have some help like poverty or hunger in your country, or you can have some prisoners.
Or maybe oh no,
That
never mind.
sounds like a lose-lose
So
situation.
I guess
No, helping
if the
poverty
country-
isn't-
if the country really just like isn't able to afford it, then I guess if the crime is really bad, like if they've done awful things, then I guess death penalty.
So
But it should still be pretty rare, I guess.
where do you draw the line at death penalty for crimes?
I guess they should make it so the crime has to be maybe like 50% more severe
And what?
than
you
the
measure
current
crime?
standard. Than the current standard.
How do you measure one person's crime against?
I don't know,
someone
Ace.
in other
I'm not like
people's
I'm not a freaking law person, okay?
I would say you're also partially biased to how it's viewed in the country you're from. So it's illegal in New Zealand, So death penalty seems wrong to me. But if you're from, I'm not 100% sure, but from what I can tell, it's legal in America. So you can understand why it is
It's
wrong.
legal in some states, but not in all of them.
Hell yeah, brother.
Or is it legal in Texas?
It's
I'm not sure
absolutely
with the- yeah.
fully legal in Texas, I think. I will
Oh,
look this
yeah,
up,
United
but
States
I am-
death penalty.
How about China? I'm gonna search it.
actually I forgot my internet isn't quite working correctly. Somebody else will have to
China-
look
Okay,
up death
I'm on it,
penalty in
China
Cameron.
Texas.
probably allows it.
It
I
is,
think.
yeah,
Thanks.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so states that do allow death penalty appear to be Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, basically the whole South,
Why do I think of corn whenever you say those states?
because those are the
My
corn states.
God.
Listen, I just want to ask why Nevada has the death penalty, because the things that people are doing in Vegas, all of them should be killed.
I don't know.
Vegas
China,
is a
if you don't
cesspit.
finish your rice, it's death penalty.
Thank you, Lauro.
So for the
That's-
death penalty, should it be that each country has a choice to make it legal or not, or should it just be a unanimous decision?
I
All
think
countries
be
have
I
to
think
per
have
each
country.
country.
each country.
Yeah, some countries like A said might not be able to afford having.
Oh, this reminds
inmates.
me. There was this like Indian king or something, and his favorite thing to do to people he didn't like was to give them a big elephant, and it's incredibly rude to reject a gift from the king. So they'd be forced to take care of this giant elephant, even if they're really poor.
How about that?
So
And
That
that, like,
seems really
Whoa.
like that's a rich people mean thing to do.
it was really mean, but and it
Okay,
was
but so what if they decline?
well then it's like really rude. You're gonna get
So
basically shunned from society. People aren't gonna hate you.
isn't it like even more embarrassing having to like own an elephant?
It's like an honor to be given an elephant.
But they have to, spend like all of their money on it.
Yeah, that's the punishment.
It's a
So
harsh one.
Kind of like the same thing with countries that can't afford the prisoners.
So we're
Nice
going off
metaphor,
topic.
Ace.
Should we
Thank
move
you.
on?
That's...
Sure.
Wait, can we just get a time check as to how long this has been going for?
It's been like 20, 30, 40, it's been 40 minutes already.
It's been okay.
Great.
Well, we are really slow. Or we're able to talk a lot.
I didn't think you would talk as much. Okay,
Yes.
Holly, your turn.
So the first one is you are an eyewitness to a crime. A man has robbed a store, but instead of keeping the items for himself, he donates it to a poor orphanage so they can feed and care for their children. You know who committed the crime. If you go to the police with the information, there's a good chance the items will be returned to the store, leaving a lot of kids in need. What do you do?
That's hard.
I wouldn't do
So-
anything.
You wouldn't do
I'd let the
anything?
guy
I wouldn't do
go.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, you helping
Honestly,
the kids. The kids are helped, but then what if like it ruins your life?
Well,
Okay, how
How-
are the kids good kids? Because the
Wait, no.
kids can learn from the kids can learn from the robber, right?
They would learn to steal for
Learn to
other kids.
steal.
Oh, okay.
For other
You're
kids.
just an eyewitness. Okay.
No, what if they learn to steal and that's it? Steal for themselves, steal for others.
Well, that's something you can't really predict.
And that's just like it just
That's
turns
a
into
skill you can
vicious
take forward
cycle,
into a
right?
profitable career.
But it never
Shopkeepers
said
hate
the
him for this
kids
one trick.
know that everything was stolen. For all they know, it could have just been bought for them.
Yeah.
So the kids don't.
I don't think
So
I
the
don't think
kids
he
don't
would
know.
like tell the organization, "Yo, I stole these things, but like I'm gonna donate it real quick."
Okay,
If
this
you're okay with
my
that.
answer to this kind of depends on if it's a chain store or not.
That's
Because if
true.
it's a chain store,
that is
absolutely
true.
let the guy steal from it.
It's
If
like a
it's
family
just like a-
co-op. Don't.
If it's
Like,
like
yeah,
some
if-
independent old dude that like
Yeah.
just makes an honest living there, and
Yeah.
his life is ruined, then like I would tell the police.
But if it's like
Yeah.
Walmart,
So-
nobody gives a crap because Walmart is
Steal-
super rich.
Like you
Conclusion
steal
is-
like what,
You
you steal
say,
80 okay, yeah. You steal $80,000 worth of merchandise from Walmart. Dude, they won't even realize, okay?
The
Like
Walton
Plus-
family is like the richest family in America, I think.
they
Well,
literally
Is it
won't
Walmart's
realize.
family?
yeah.
Yo, my name is
Okay,
Yeah,
anyway.
George
they're
Walmart.
called the Waltons.
If you steal from a chain, it doesn't exactly affect the employees who work there, except maybe the security employees if there are any.
Maybe.
Walmart
They get
is gonna
fired.
get fired.
Maybe the cleaning ladies.
Why
How
the
the
cleaning
cleaning
ladies?
ladies be affected.
It's like, yo, you were supposed to defend this store with your broomstick.
That's why we gave you the mop. It wasn't to clean, it was to commit massacre.
So we came to a conclusion of that we will allow the
Well,
person to
no,
rob
we came to the great conclusion that it depends.
Oh no.
We're all relativists. Oh no.
Mr. Cat is just like peering in.
No,
I think-
Side.
Foaming at the mouth.
a
Maybe 70% of the
stone-hard
time, it's okay.
point of view.
Yeah, I'll say so. Yeah.
Okay, next.
So I think our final
Oh.
answer is if it's Walmart, let the guys take it. If it's basically majority, we let the guy go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta start speeding up.
Okay, what's next?
Do we have to get through all these topics in one podcast?
Maybe we should only talk about these like these and then leave the the global issue to next time.
No. That's not the format, buddy.
Okay, then we're gonna go on for 2 hours.
Heck yeah, dude.
God.
Wait, what? 2
We can-
hours? Holly's got a visa to do.
I know,
can-
but
We can just fix it in post.
Yeah, Felix, we can just fix
Fix
it.
it and post. What do you want me to fix? It's literally like pure talking right now.
How
Cut
about
it out.
we could cut it out and put it in a different part? Like put it in a different episode.
What? So you want my job to be even harder, Ace? I'm not even like
Come on,
getting
we
paid.
gotta hurry up. Come on.
Okay, Holly, what's next?
pay you in candy.
The next one is you're a doctor at a hospital. You have 4 gravely ill patients, 3 of who are in urgent need of organ transplants. You can't help them because there are no available organs that can be used to save their lives. The fourth patient, however, will die without a particular medicine. If he or she dies, you will be able to save the other 3 patients by using the organs of patient 4, who is an organ donor. What do you do?
Kill all of them.
Ask the 4th patient whether he's he or she is okay with the decision.
Make them nod their head if they say no.
I
Too
say,
weak to resist.
Blink.
yeah,
if you
I say
agree.
let the
Blink if
organ
you
donor
agree.
decide.
Yeah.
Because it's not
Well-
really up to you to take someone else's life, you know?
I think it
but then
depends.
What if the medication that person needs is not available in your country? Say legally, you can't have it in your country. Do you then fight for them to have that medication legally, or do you just not bother?
Isn't it? Shouldn't it be the patient's choice?
Well, it's not legal, so the patient can't legally ask for it.
Ask for what?
If the medication they need isn't legally available in that country, I don't see how they can ask their doctor to get it for them.
Because it's still like it's not
Yeah.
guaranteed that they will die.
Well,
I'm pretty
I
sure
think-
they die.
I think you should
Oh,
ask
okay.
the other 3 patients if they would be okay taking someone else's organs.
Yeah, they should all have like a mutual agreement.
We should all wheel them into one room and they can talk about it.
Talk about the feelings. Let them settle and get it.
So
you know,
you die, we
Four,
live.
4
Good.
people in critical condition just discussing calmly.
Having a
Yo,
civil conversation.
Yo, I'm about to like have a heart attack, but
Because,
like,
If one of the patients is really old and doesn't think that they should take the organ of like a younger person, for example, then they don't have to.
But what if there's no old person? Well, they're all very young, highly intelligent,
They
successful.
were all in a car trip together.
They're all
all
friends.
best friends.
They're all best friends. What happens next then?
I think it's
Well-
ultimately up to the organ donor person. If he says no, you don't have a right to take away his life, like against his will, to save someone else's.
Well, if
He's an organ donor though, so he's already given permission for when he dies.
But isn't that, yeah, that's when he
No,
dies. But he's
technically
still
we're not
alive.
killing him.
He's
but
still
you
alive.
can't, but you can't get
Yeah.
the medicine though. If you can't get the
Technically,
medicine,
we're not killing the organ donor.
okay.
So
So I
he's
think
naturally dying.
we should split
So
up
if you
into.
just-
Oh
And
my
usually
it
God.
into
if you're
two
in
parts.
critical condition, you can't speak for yourself either.
You have to let your family
Yes,
speak
you
for
can.
you, right?
Nod your head if you want to die right now.
Breathe a little bit.
Nod your head if you want me to withhold medicine.
Isn't it usually like the family comes in and then they consent to it or not?
Okay,
What
how about
What if the
you don't
family
have?
says
What if you
no?
don't have time? You don't have time. The 3 patients are going to die very soon unless you get the organs from this 4th person.
All right,
Get
cut
the organs from
fourth
the fourth
person off.
person.
So if the 4th person, okay, so if the medicine is available for the 4th person, would you save that 4th person? Like if the medicine is there and it's available and you can get it,
Is the fourth person a good person?
it's irrelevant.
Well, if
It
it's
is
a bad
relevant.
person, if
Well,
it's a
Man,
bad
I mean,
person,
if the
I'm-
4th person's like someone that
It's-
killed people, like, I
mean,
don't
well,
know, bro. Leave
If
it.
the fourth person is
Like-
Idi Amin, I'm not.
But okay, so but for the sake of the situation,
I think it's up to the donor. If he's like, man,
the donors,
I don't want to die
they're all
yet."
knocked out.
Oh.
You're just adding
Freaking
layers
crap.
to the situation.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, that's the thing. So if the medicine is available to save the 4th person, would you withhold the medicine or give it to them
Yes.
and condemn the other 3?
I would give it then. Because as a doctor, you can't withhold medicine.
You can't
have
also
Yeah,
can't
that is true.
withhold organs.
That
Your,
is true.
your job is to save lives, right? So,
You're gonna save one and let 3 die.
well, the other
Well,
three can
it's
find
not.
other
It's not
organ
necessarily
You
let
have-
the other 3 die because you. It's like you can't. You can't.
You will have
You
a
can't
bad
help them.
KD if you
My
let the 3
God,
die.
Ace.
You can't rely on another patient to help another patient. Like as a doctor, I don't think you can do that.
Okay, so how about if the medicine?
Come on,
you
can you
can't
stop
get it.
adding layers to it?
Ace.
Well,
Ace.
Well, how about if the
Alright, we
medicine?
We gotta start
it-
moving on.
What if the medicine? What medicine? What if?
All right, moving on.
Alright, moving
Alright.
on.
Okay.
Now,
Okay, so
I-
medicine.
my first scenario is going to be really similar to the doctor one. So now the doctor/surgeon is also one of the patients who needs an organ or in order to
What if
survive.
the doctor was one of the patients who needed an organ?
That's what he just said. Isn't it?
That's what he just said.
Now the
This is like
surgeon
Laro and what I
can
said.
choose to self-sacrifice and donate his organs to the 4 other patients, or choose to save himself, which means the 4 patients die. So should the surgeon sacrifice himself?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, that was fast.
So that
Well,
would
this
mean
is
Wait,
Well-
if the surgeon sacrifices himself, who's gonna do the surgery
Another
on like
surgeon.
other people?
Okay, so
His
if
buddy,
he's
Steve.
doing it during working hours, then he should. But if it's not, then he shouldn't.
okay,
Okay,
I
but
don't
Sorry,
know
I
about
can't
this
save your
one.
life by sacrificing my own. I'm off duty.
No.
It's
Because-
3 p.m. I'm off
because-
work.
No. During work, he should sacrifice himself because as a doctor, you're supposed to save other people's lives.
no.
But as soon as
Okay, but-
his like working hours is over, he can save himself.
He's like getting up the resolve to do it. It's like a slow zoom
No,
into his face as
sorry.
he's
Okay,
the
so
thing, and
like
then the
the
bell
problem
rings
here-
or like something. It's 4 o'clock on the dot, and he's like, "Sorry," that he lets them all die.
the problem here is that you gotta choose to like save one person and have 4 people die, or say 4 people and have 1 person die. However,
but
that
here's
one
the
person,
thing.
can save more
Many
in
of
the
the
future.
lives. Yeah,
No, the
that
one
is true.
person will go on to save more than 4 lives.
That's what
Yeah,
I just
That's
said.
literally what. Why is
I-
everyone
I-
repeating what another person says, dude? That's
I didn't hear Eric say that. I heard Felix say something else.
I said the same thing as what Eric said.
You said the same thing as what Eric said.
Okay, well, fine.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, fine.
Yeah,
So-
so I guess the surgeon should live, because
No, the surgeon should
because in the long
die.
run he
I
was.
hate surgeons.
Oh, okay. I guess
Okay.
that's that.
Alright.
That'll-
Okay,
That's it
but
then.
what if the surgeon tells this to the 4 patients?
Here you go again with the what ifs, Eric.
He just like walks into
Hey,
the room with the 4 patients, like,
yo.
yo, I could save you guys, but like, I could save other people too. So yeah, good luck.
You know, there's a
So,
baseball
I'm
game
gonna
this
let you
Sunday, and I
die.
kind of wanted to go.
It's like, yo, I could save you, but like my puppy needs to get fed. So like,
What if
I
like
would save you,
the
but
guys at baseball
season
get hurt?
finale of Game of Thrones is on tonight. Sorry,
Wait.
weighing up the options
I need to
here.
sacrifice myself. for
You
mine.
don't have Netflix.
okay. Are we moving on?
Yeah, we
So-
can move on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
What's
the next scenario is you invent a meatless burger and you're selling it worldwide. You get really famous from it and rich from it. However, in a town, 3 unrelated people ate your burger and died. So the police said a criminal targeted your burgers by injecting poison into them. So they removed all of your burgers in the town's market. Now your revenue is dropping, so you come up with 3 options. The first option is you do nothing, and that hope everything will just pass, and then like no other people get poisoned and you can continue selling your burgers. The second option is you pull the products from the town and destroy them. That would mean like you lose some revenue, but you protect the town. And the third option is you pull products from worldwide and destroy them. That means you basically lose your job and all revenue is lost, but however, you protect everyone. So what option would you choose?
I think number 2, because
number
I don't think a criminal would be able to poison like all of the products from your company. I think it would just be for that town.
But you don't
Yeah,
know
I
yet.
really think the problem here isn't the meatless burger; it's the lax security because if all of the burgers are poisoned,
Wait, so
how
what
did
does
he
the
get into your burger
meatless
factory?
meatless burger have anything to do with it?
It's just saying that it can't just be food poison.
Oh,
Is
What if
the
you-
meatless burger a free frozen patty that you cook at home, or is it like from a restaurant where you have people cooking it?
I'm pretty sure it's frozen.
Okay, because then the criminal can get into your factory and could have contaminated the whole supply.
So somehow
Exactly.
one criminal went into a bunch of major like giant factories and contaminated all of your supply.
Criminal
Ooh,
as
Why are
not
people
as only
repeating
one.
other people?
Oh.
Criminal not
Literally.
as one person. It could be many. It could be organized.
A whole,
could be
a whole organization
whole
hates your meatless
organization.
burgers.
Yes, exactly.
They don't hate meatless
God.
burgers; they hate you.
However, like the thing is, the poison has only affected the town, but there is a possibility that since you see that the criminal is targeting only your burgers, right? So they could be targeting other parts of the world as well.
so
I
then
say
I
hold
like
off
that
on
security
selling
thing.
burgers and do like a security inspection of all the
The
products.
security is not gonna do anything because like
Why?
the poison that they
security?
put inside your burger, it's undetectable.
No, but they would detect the person
Undetectable.
trying to poison this burger.
Well,
They're like,
say
hey,
that
go
this
in there.
say that this criminal left without a trace.
Okay, but how does he get in
Then
What
there?
just destroy all products for now. Like destroy all the products that you currently have, and then keep
Eradicate,
producing new
sorry.
ones.
So
I would
destroy all
do-
products worldwide.
I would do
Yes.
a combination of
But
one
you
and
won't
two.
lose your job
Like
because
first do nothing
you're
and
the
then
CEO, right?
and then destroy.
But if you do nothing,
more people
then
die.
and people die,
No,
you get
the
more.
you first do nothing for a little bit. See if it like spreads throughout like beyond the town.
So you're waiting for more people to
Yeah,
die.
you're waiting for more people to
Yes.
die.
I think
So you,
I mean,
I don't
actually,
know.
that seems like what a big corporation would do. That seems accurate.
Is that what you would do?
Or
I just
No, I
Provide
would just destroy all the
robots, like-
products.
I would hire security at the factories, make sure everyone has ID. You can't get in without the ID.
Yeah,
make sure the
increase
meatless
security.
burgers
This
have
has-
IDs.
This has nothing to do with the security, okay?
Yeah, but
Security,
a criminal involves security
Yeah.
or a lack of it.
criminal. The criminal will always bypass the security.
What kind of criminal is this, bro? They should hire him for the freaking FBI or something.
Exactly. This is a
It is
top
the FBI.
criminal. They don't even know the criminal's
What the
name or
frick,
anything.
bro?
Okay, what if we change the situation where there isn't a criminal involved and people just start, some people happen to die from your burger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people just randomly die from your
They just
burger.
randomly die.
Like,
What
like,
do you
it's
guy
do?
eats your burger and then kills himself. Was
No.
it the burger?
No. No. Okay.
The burger
No.
causing
So was
suicide?
it the burger?
Should we move on?
Like maybe the burger is just so bad that people are killing themselves.
The burger's that bad.
Wait, so which option do you guys lean more towards then?
Number
Two.
3.
If it's like
third?
if it's what you said, it would be the third.
Okay. So you lose your
Um,
job and everything.
Well, you're the CEO and you already earned a crap ton of money. Okay, if this is like a worldwide thing,
Retire.
Yeah.
billions and billions
A
already, so you
worldwide
got enough.
CEO would have at least a few products besides the burgers. So I
Yeah,
think that would be okay.
Ketchup.
Dude, I think you would be
Eating
okay.
ketchup.
Like if your company is that big, even if you destroy everything and fire everyone and you just like get rid of the company, you still have a lot of money. You still have a buttload.
Just
What if,
retire.
what if he just goes and creates another brand?
Meatful burger.
No, meat burgers. This time with meat.
Guys, new invention.
Meatless burgers with meat.
With meat. Animal meat, by the way.
Meatless meat burgers.
But it's meat. It's from animals, but it's meatless animals.
To meatless animals.
It's just bones.
That's
It's just like
slogan.
a package
Okay,
of
we're off
air.
topic. Felix, you go.
Pork burger.
Felix, go.
Okay, so in my situation, a person is plugged into a simulation their entire lives, right? Just similar to the Matrix. And in their simulated world, they have a very happy life. Everything's going very well, like they're super happy. But should you, like some people find out that he's plugged in, right? So should they plug him out and let him experience the real world where there's a lot of pain and suffering, or should they leave him plugged in?
Get out of here with
So,
your
the
the
Truman
cave
Show?
allegory,
Ignorance
Felix.
is bliss. Be like.
I mean, just keep him plugged in.
I plug myself in.
What would you
I mean,
want?
if-
My life is sad.
If it can be throughout his entire life until death,
Yeah, like he
Then
won't
keep him-
realize until he
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
if he doesn't realize, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, let him be.
Why
You
why
can
does this
die
sound
happy.
awfully like the Truman Show?
You can die happy.
No one
Why
else.
does this sound like the
It does sound kind of like the Truman Show.
Awfully like it.
As long as they're able to guarantee that nothing will be revealed, then it's all good.
I like how we just all agree on this. All right. This is the only thing that we
Nobody
all
wants
agree
to skadoosh the plug, you know.
on. Yeah.
No.
It's too relatable,
Okay.
Felix. Come on.
All right, moving on. A man's family is starving to death, and he has no choice but to steal food from other people. Otherwise, his family will die. Okay, but in the country he's living in, it's a made up country. Any kind of thievery is punishable by death. So he gets caught stealing the food for his family, and he's brought to court. Who is wrong, the man or the country who made the law?
Well, if he's already in court, it's too late.
Yeah,
it doesn't
No,
matter.
no, it's
He's
too
going to
late. But,
die.
okay, no, that's not what I'm asking. Like, it's too
Like-
late for him, but what's wrong? Like, is what he did wrong, or is the law wrong?
The
I'm
law.
gonna
This
I'm
Well,
gonna
what
tell
did
you
he do wrong to start,
He's-
be in a
he's the-
situation of
stole.
starving to death?
it's society's fault.
We
What
live
if
in a
what if
society.
what if the man is like not responsible?
What do you mean?
Like
What?
if the man could have if the man was like not lazy,
What?
you know?
No, but what if
Laura,
it's
what-
not his fault? What if like
Hello.
there
So
was
this is
some-
assuming it's not his fault, like he worked as hard as he could.
the system was unfair?
The system is against us.
Rage against the system.
I mean, if they're gonna die from starvation anyway, then I guess why not try to get one last bite of pizza and then die?
Oh my god.
I think stealing shouldn't
It's
be
wrong.
punishable by death.
No, this is like a made-up country,
I
okay?
think
but
the law is
the-
wrong.
The
Then the
problem
law
is-
is wrong.
But the problem is, when he steals from someone else, what if the food that other person had is also the last bit of food that they have, and their
Okay,
family will now
yeah,
starve
Then
because
the
of
man
what
is
he
wrong.
Well, then that family can steal. It's all good. They'll keep going on until the last one, the last unfortunate one.
They keep going until whoever gets caught gets
It
sent
loops.
to court.
It loops around forever.
did. They just keep
It's a
stealing.
it's a risky game that they play.
But the problem is, this isn't something that we would be able to understand unless we were parents, because things parents do for their children to make sure their children survive, that trumps everything.
Yeah, because it's a biological instinct
Steal?
to support
No.
you, to make sure your children survive, not to steal, dude.
I'm sorry,
Like-
it's built in my DNA.
It's in my DNA.
Born to steal.
I just took a
Born
DNA
to
test. I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% grand larceny.
My personality type is kleptomaniac.
INFPK.
Possible careers: thief.
Salary.
Thief.
What's the
And thief.
salary?
Well, it's freelance.
Depends.
Freelance. Commission.
I really like how Holly brought up like a legitimate
I'm an
query, and we're all just
entrepreneur.
he immediately shot it down.
Sorry,
I'm
Holly.
so sorry. Sorry.
I'm sorry, we get off
Yeah.
topic too much.
This is why we're unqualified individuals.
I just
Yeah.
force my entrepreneurship on others.
Surprise
This
entrepreneurship.
entrepreneurship is thievery.
I run a small business. I take money from other people's pockets when they're not looking.
Independent business. Okay. So is it now the global issue?
Cameron
Well,
hasn't done his.
I have two things.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh.
so these are some one of these I came up with while I was in the shower thinking about
thank
things.
you.
course.
Thank you,
Shower
Cameron.
thoughts?
Thank you.
Shower thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. This is a very specific one. So imagine you're in a hot air balloon.
Okay.
Okay, I'm imagining it. Continue.
There's more. Imagine you're in a hot air balloon and you hold in your hand the legitimate cure for cancer. Right?
Yes.
It is in this hot air balloon with you. You're holding it. It's in your
I'm
hand.
holding it. It's in my
Congratulations.
left-
This is the
yep.
cure
Okay,
for cancer.
man decided
hot
to
air
take
balloon.
a vacation with a cure for cancer.
All right, Felix, thank you.
Yes. And the hot air balloon is you're in the Grand Canyon and the hot air balloon is dipping very, very fast. And there's no way you can make it not dip. And the only way to get out of the hot air balloon is to jump and leave the other person in the hot air balloon behind.
Just another person.
It's just another guy.
Is he okay if
Some
he
dude.
doesn't?
He's just there.
Can you ask him to do it?
He's just kind of there, dude.
Why
Like,
can't he jump also?
Yeah, why can't he jump on?
He's
Okay, can
crippled.
just continue.
You can like
It's a
you
crippled
can
guy.
push him over.
Continue. Okay. Continue the.
it's like, yo, I got the cure for cancer right here. So if you could just take a skydive trip real quick, greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah, that's the
Continue.
thing. So the only way you can get out is to leave this guy behind. And
Does he keep
I
the
want
cure
you
for
to-
cancer?
yes, you do.
So do you have a
No,
parachute or
keeps
is
it?
it
Who
just
keeps it?
jumping?
Jumping, and then he's gonna die because the hot air balloon is gonna slowly go down into the Grand Canyon.
Wait, if it's going so slowly, I can't get out when it's like near the bottom.
He's crippled. Don't you remember?
Listen,
What if you
he's
wait? and then-
crippled.
What
Jump.
if you help him get out?
Wait, but then wouldn't the cure for cancer like be fine?
No.
No.
Why not?
Listen,
not- it's
imagine
not
the cure
kept
for
in a-
cancer shatters if it is slowly brought down in a hot air
Isn't
balloon
it-
to the
it's
bottom of
not,
the Grand
like,
Canyon.
in a
Yo.
nice like package. It's not in a suitcase.
It is in a
It's just-
He's holding it.
syringe. You're holding a syringe.
It's in a
Okay.
It's a
glass cup.
syringe.
Guys,
So it can cure like one person from cancer.
They can all.
No,
So-
like I think what Cameron's saying is that if you can bring this to like a lab, then they can replicate it. But
Yes.
otherwise, it'll be lost forever once it's exposed to
I have
air.
so many questions.
So if it's just some guy, do you all jump out?
Wait,
Tell
so
the guy
I don't.
to
Does
swallow
the
it.
does the cancer thing be saved if you jump out?
Yeah.
Then yeah, jump out.
So,
You are
so
holding.
if
He's
you,
gonna.
if
He
you
can't
jump
get out anyway. He's gonna.
yeah, that is true.
So sacrifice
Yo,
one person's life
But
for
you're not
the cure of
sacrificing because he
cancer.
just can't get out.
You can't do anything with them.
No wheelchair.
Here is where I think I can add a layer to this. There are two
Please do.
things that I can make this person. One, they are your parents, both of them, and they're both crippled and they both can't
Now
get
there's
out.
two.
That is too.
What if they're your parents?
Okay.
Okay, well, I mean,
that really
they-
depends on my relationship with my parents. You know?
What if they're really old?
I
If
don't know, Laura.
If I
What
just
if they're
don't like my parents, if my parents are
really old?
abusive to me, then hell
look,
yeah. I
they
would-
can't get out. They still can't get out no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So how does that change?
Alright, just
You can
say
save
your
them.
last goodbye
You
to
can-
them and then just jump out.
How do you
You
save
either
them?
save them or you get the cure for cancer.
How do you save them though?
You pick them up instead of the cure for cancer.
Why can't you put the cure cancer in your pocket?
You are completely nude.
Yo, I'm holding the cure for cancer, but I decided to take a freaking hot air balloon with my crippled parents, and I'm completely nude for some reason. We also
I
taken a
told
trip
you
to
I
the
came up
Grand
with this in
Canyon
the
today.
shower,
I
okay?
told you. Have your parents hold it, and then take them off.
Just just like have them hold it, and they can like wrap themselves
cure for
around it
cancer
to protect
will-
it.
The
Yeah.
cure for
My
cancer
God.
will disintegrate if anybody other than you holds it.
Then why
In
bring
this
it to a
particular
lab in the first
situation.
place?
Why is it in a lab?
In this situation, if the cure for cancer
did
is
you
in the Grand
get-
Canyon, it can't reach the bottom and it will also shatter.
How do you have the cure for
how are you going to get out from the bottom of the Grand Canyon once you jump?
You're basically, I wish I could visualize this and draw it for you.
I'm
trying
picturing
to
one of those
But
visualize
basically, the hot air balloon is slowly going to
Precious
become, get into a place where it is infeasible for you to jump. Basically, the only way for you to get out is to jump onto the cliff and then let the hot air balloon fall.
Okay, can I rephrase it a little bit?
Yes,
Um,
please do.
You're on your way driving to the lab to get the cure of cancer, but then it's icy, so you fly off the road and your car is hanging on like a ledge.
And you're fully naked.
You're not sure. So any
You're
movement,
fully naked in an icy environment.
any fast movement will make the car fall off into the cliff, and you can either go for your parents or for the cure for cancer.
So
I
you can
still
only
use
make
the
one
force
enough and then the
cure?
car falls off. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're just enough
I
time
dab.
to either get your parents out or one person out, or the cure for cancer.
Oh, then get the parents. Because you already know how to make it. You know
Yeah.
how to make the cure, right? So yeah, you
No,
can just
no.
you
You
don't.
say you found the cure for cancer on the street, right? It's
Yo,
just there.
it's just like a box that
You
says
find a
cure for
syringe on the
cancer
street that
inside.
says "cure for cancer" on it.
In big letters in crayon.
Light blue crayon.
Thanks
So
for
you
the
so
can
how
only
about-
go for one.
Yeah, you can only go for. You can save one per. So there's no two parents, just one. One parent in the car.
I
and then
say
cure for cancer.
I say you tell your parents that you are going to save the cure for cancer. And they're gonna be
The other
like,
thing that I was going to add that
"I
would make
agree
this
with you."
more interesting is the other person in the car or the hot air balloon. Probably the car because that's much better. Thank you for creating a new situation from scratch, Ace.
Yeah.
I really
I hate
appreciate
it when I
that.
jump in a
I'm-
How about
hot air balloon naked
you
with a
you
parent
are on
and
a
cure for
camel?
cancer.
Single taken in a hot air balloon fully naked with the cure for cancer.
My Tinder profile.
You might be wondering how I got myself into this situation.
Freeze frame!
It all started when I was a little kid.
You start telling your life story. How you ended up
Hey,
Right,
in a hot air
so
balloon.
back to the other layer that you could put onto this. The other person in the car is the only other person who can help you synthesize the cure for cancer.
Oh, and the person.
Yeah, then the person.
But you only have that one cure for cancer, and they only know that how to synthesize this one.
That's okay. They can just make another one.
So it's not replicable.
It's only replicable if you have both of them. One of them is the actual cure. The other one is a guy who knows how to replicate that cure.
Okay, so the two options is I save the person who knows how to replicate the cure or save a person with cancer.
Yes.
Okay, then the person who can replicate the cure.
And if you need both for it to work,
Or you could get the cure, and maybe there's like someone else could figure out a way to replicate it.
right? Because scientists write everything
Yeah.
down.
They can they can look
Yeah,
at the
you ask-
person's work.
You ask the other person
We should
their
move
passwords to get into the thing, and then you can.
That's not a sudden movement because you're just talking.
Yeah,
Okay.
problem solved.
All right, so I think we've reached a consensus on
We
hot air
just
balloon or
cured
car.
cancer.
You're hanging on the edge. You just pull out your phone. You start recording. It's like, yo, tell us exactly how to replicate this real quick.
Okay, Cameron, do
And
you
then
have
you take the.
do you have a second
Yes,
scenario?
I'm going to give you a log line. That's it. Medical care versus religious beliefs.
I think there's a lot of bias with this one.
Medical care.
Right. So what do you mean? Like which
Basically,
ones?
there are certain people there are certain religious beliefs where your safety is determined by the almighty power that exists. And so if you get hepatitis, God wants you to get
No,
hepatitis.
this reminds me. I saw something where someone said that people who don't believe in religion shouldn't get Christmas breaks, and someone else said that people who believe in religion shouldn't get health care.
Oh no!
Oh. I think
Yeah, I would be more medical.
I think this depends. Like if one of us was really religious, I think they would say the religion thing, but otherwise it's the medical care.
I would say you can't force what you think on other people. So if someone's going to come along and they're going to say that for their religious beliefs, they're declining medical care, nothing I think is going to be able to change their opinion.
That is true. If you look at flat earthers, for example.
What about how did the convert people work in like South America?
I don't know.
Because
The
they
what?
changed people's minds about religion all over there. That's why South America is really Catholic.
Wait, are you talking about like now or like before, like when they're
Well,
all the like
Holly
the
said you
missionaries?
can't change people's minds.
Like in today's age.
I wouldn't say it's impossible. It's just really hard. Like
You can't
especially if they've
force.
been believing that their entire life, it's really hard to change their mind. And if you try to force it, then they're obviously going to think you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, I say you can't force, however, you can present your facts and have them use those facts to determine their own
Yeah.
what they want to believe in.
They have to decide by themselves.
Okay, so then what if you add to that? It's just reminded me of a Grey's Anatomy episode. But you add to it, and the parents have the religious beliefs and are saying to the kid who is over 18, so technically can make their own decisions.
Are you talking
You
about that
can't
Chinese
make it-
episode?
Pardon?
The Chinese episode with the wizard
Yeah.
guy?
You can't have the medical treatment, but the kid is over 18, believes that the medical treatment could work, but doesn't want to disappoint the parents.
Then since the child is over 18, then the child should be making his own decisions. It's kind of similar to like how there's like anti-vaccination parents, right? However, the children themselves, they still go to vaccinate.
But the kid could be very influenced by the parents' beliefs. So even if they know that the medical treatment might work, they are still conflicted with doing what their parents want because they're supposed to listen to their parents. Or they
Then they
trust their
have to
parents.
they have to come to a decision.
That's
It's
something for them to decide.
It's you're deciding one or the other. Can't like believe both.
Yeah, it's something for the child to decide.
Because it's like you can't force your beliefs on other people, like Holly
It's
said.
like-
You can't force beliefs on a kid, really.
It's like the kid is gonna have to decide to do what he or she thinks is right versus what their parents thinks is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right.
Okay.
So I think that's about now global issue time.
Okay, so
Okay.
today's global issue is going to be the current 2020 Californian wildfires. So the wildfires, although most of them started due to the lightning storms and the dry climate, and not because of a gender reveal party. And the fires are significantly worse this year because a few years ago there was heavy like humidity and rain, so there was a lot of plants, and these plants are now making really good fuel for the fire. So far, the fire has burned, I think, 3 million acres, killed around 30 people, and 80,000 structures have been destroyed. The fires count for 5 of the top 10 fires in Californian history are going on right now.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that
So
statistic.
yeah, I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Yeah.
So, what's the question?
We're just supposed to talk about the global issue and how it should be solved and why
It's
it hasn't
related.
been solved.
Why
It's
is
it
related to climate
unstoppable?
change.
Listen,
It is significantly related to climate change because the higher temperatures make the fire season last longer,
Okay.
and it makes it harder for the firefighters to fight it. Plus, near the end of summer, there's this really big wind that comes in from this Great Basin, and that it's like 70 miles per hour. I'm not sure what the kilometers is, but it makes the fire go really fast, and it helps to throw embers over wide things like a highway, which usually stops a fire. And that's how the fires cross roads.
so
Um,
I just have one question. It wasn't started by a gender reveal party.
The gender reveal party has started a fire, but it's not the main reason the fire is so crazy. It's just like kind of in there. the main reason is the lightning storms.
So, okay.
So it's impossible to stop because of lightning?
Not necessarily, no. The lightning storms caused it. Lightning storms have finished mostly, or they don't do much, but since the fire's already started, it's caught on a lot.
So wait, so then why is it unstoppable?
Because there's just so much fire.
Too much,
There's
or is it just
actually-
spreading too fast?
How come it wasn't able to be stopped earlier?
That is part of the debate that's going on right now. So Native Americans had this practice where they would burn part of the area, which would stop big fires from coming, and it would also create more healthy vegetation and allow for more animals to come and feed on it. But the culture for the past few decades or so has been to suppress fires right away and not have pre-burning areas or pre-burn times, which can help reduce the fires. And what's interesting is that the budget for preparing for fires and stopping them with the practice of doing controlled burns, budget for that is extremely low compared to the money that's being used now to stop the current fires.
So you're saying it's better to have these pre-burnt areas so that when the fire gets there, there's nothing else to burn, so it can't spread.
Well, that's something else. That's called a controlled line, and that's actually how wildfires are contained. Because have you heard of how they say a fire is 25% contained? They use those control lines to determine how contained it is. But what I'm talking about is this thing called pre-burning, where you light something on fire and control it so it burns a certain amount of area. So later on,
and then the fire can't physically spread beyond that point because it's already been burned.
or
right?
there won't be a big fire because they already burned this area. So the fire, if there is another fire, it is impossible to get bigger.
It's like a fire line.
Yeah, isn't that the same thing?
It's not really, because the fire line is made to stop a big fire from moving on, but this pre-built fire thing will stop a big fire from ever happening.
But then you
But
started a
You're
fire.
starting a
Okay.
fire to not
Yeah.
have
Stop a fire.
happen.
Yes,
But you already started a
So-
fire.
but it's
So
a controlled fire who doesn't go crazy. It only burns certain
So it's
certain parts.
either take this amount of vegetation loss, or risk having a giant loss of vegetation.
Yeah,
Mm.
and a lot of conservationists think that should happen, and I think the next year's plan is to have 30,000 acres be burned like this so that there aren't as big fires. However,
But wouldn't that mean a loss of habitat?
well, wildfires are a natural part of a forest, and having a fire can help the forest stay diverse and not become too crazy.
But okay, well, how's it natural when it's you're the one who's burning it?
Because you're burning it in a way similar to a natural fire would.
How a natural fire would?
Yeah, like a lightning
But-
storm.
Okay, so you're trying to prevent the actual natural fire by creating a
Well,
natural fire.
there will always be natural fires, but if you do this kind of burning method, a lot of experts think that the fires won't be as intense as they are currently.
Okay, I see how that will work.
So the one number
So
of
are
people seem to agree on.
They
wanna
trying to do that
burn-
right now?
Well, they can't do it right now because they're kind of busy fighting the giant fires.
Right.
Because the problem with this kind of method is that it needs a group of people doing this kind of thing year round. Whereas,
So they have to pay for a separate group of people.
yeah, because right now a bunch of firefighters will volunteer and help out starting at the summer. And it's like a seasonal thing.
Wouldn't a better option be a fire break though? Or are the
So
forests or the areas too big for the fire break to?
a fire break is one of the common methods used, but it doesn't work all the time. So even if you have like a properly maintained and set up fire break, the wind can still can push embers across.
So what are you suggesting, Ace?
Well,
We're not trying to suggest anything. We're just discussing stuff.
I know, but Ace is trying to like talk about one of the methods that it's like what,
Do you think it's a good
creating
method?
natural fire.
it's a controversial method. Some people agree and some don't.
What are the drawbacks?
The drawbacks, it's possible that one of those fires could go out of control. It costs a lot of money to have all those people working on it like year round, and sometimes those experts who you need to have there will be called away to work on other fires. Also, not all of the land is government property, so some people won't let the government burn fires on their land. And if those people try and burn fires themselves, they could make a mistake and it can get out of hand.
Hmm.
Plus, the California population keeps growing, and they're building more like developments, which makes it harder to can't think of the word. Makes it harder to plan for fires because there's getting more people around. So
So are the people trying to live? Are they trying to build more land for people to live in, like in the forests that are going to be burnt, or like or are already burnt?
yeah, they're trying to. So there was a study in 2014 that says that there will be 645,000 new homes in high severity zones by 2050.
And all of the people who are gonna live there, they know like the risks,
They know the risks.
and if they know the risks, they're probably prepared, right? So that would mean like
Well, sort of.
sort of.
Because people might take shortcuts and not do it because it's less expensive. So it
Then I would
says,
think then like it should be like regulation.
well, that's
So
the
you
thing.
can't take shortcuts.
According to BBC, California law requires any structure in such a position to create 100 feet of defensible space or a fire break in every direction. However,
Yeah.
this law is not aggressively enforced, and it's left largely up to homeowners. And even if the wind is as fast as it is this year, a fire break might not even be enough.
I think isn't there like a system where like if there's a fire, then like there's water, like gallons of water being sprayed on the house. That way it protects it from the fire.
But but there's like a whole row of houses in that area,
Yeah, then the
and
whole
it's a
row of
really big
houses,
fire.
then the whole row of houses, they have to have that like system implemented. Should be
But
required.
I don't think they do, and there's not enough firefighters to get all of that. So actually, according to the California Fire, they said that their order of priorities is life, property, and natural resources.
Natural resources as in like the forest.
Yeah, so they're going to try and do everything they can to protect people and their homes first, and worry about protecting the land later.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
This has been Gray Situations. Thank you for listening to our intellectual conversations. Don't forget to tune in next month for more insightful chatter. And remember,
Play safe.